Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to InfoGamer. Today I have another quick Photon tutorial, and this one's going to be also kind of like a follow-up tutorial to our other lesson on how to disconnect a player from a room. So here I have my Photon project open inside of Unity, and when I click play, we can then create a new room by typing in a room name, and then we can enter in the room size and click create room. Now I can click start game, which will load me into the multiplayer scene. And then we have this button here, which is the disconnect button. Now if I were to find this button in our hierarchy, which is located right here, you'll notice that we have a disconnect player function attached to this button. And if I open up this script, which is our game setup script, here is our disconnect player function, which is calling the coroutine, which is located right here. Inside this coroutine, we're calling PhotonNetwork.Disconnect. And then we're using a while loop to check to see if we're still connected. And once we're not connected, then we load into the main menu scene. Now I just wanted to show you a different way and also probably a better way to do this function. Instead of using PhotonNetwork.Disconnect, we're going to use PhotonNetwork.LeaveRoom. I can then comment out this other line. And instead of this while loop where we're checking to see if we're still connected to the Photon network, we're going to use a different while loop. And so I'm going to type while, and then we're going to type Photon network. But instead of checking to see if is connected is true, we're going to check to see if we are in a room. So I'm going to use in room. And if we're in a room, then we're going to wait. We're going to keep returning. But as soon as we've disconnected from the room instead of the Photon network, then we load into the main menu scene. And so essentially what we were doing beforehand is we were disconnecting ourselves from the Photon network entirely. And then we were checking to see if we were still connected to the Photon network, not just the master client. And so using this other option keeps us still connected to the Photon network. It just allows us to disconnect from the room and that master client. And since we're no longer disconnecting from the Photon network, this while statement wouldn't work anymore. And so we just need to check to see if we are currently in a room. Now the other option was still working because when we load back into the main menu scene, our Photon lobby script would then reconnect us to the Photon network. But doing it this new way means that we don't have to reconnect to the Photon network because we never disconnected. Instead, it means that we just left the room that we were currently in. So let's now save this script and we'll go back to Unity and test our project one more time. So when I click play in Unity, I can then enter in a room name and a room size, and then I'm going to click create room. I'll then click start game. Now when I click disconnect, you can see that it loads us back into the main menu scene, and I'll see if I can create a new room. And there you can see that it has created a new room with a different name, and now I can click start game and it's all working. So this really doesn't change much because we still have a working cycle of being able to create rooms and disconnect from rooms. But this is a better way to go about doing it because you don't need to disconnect from the Photon network entirely. You just need to leave the room that you are currently in. Now, if for some reason you wanted to disconnect the player from the Photon network, then you would use that other command that we were using. You would use PhotonNetwork.Disconnect. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson on how to have a player leave a room. If you have any questions, make sure that you leave them in the comments below. Also, make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you can be up to date on all our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.